We are here with you live, Levitt Stadium. After some days of rain, we finally are going to get the go-ahead to play here. 4 p.m. start. It's actually 4:06 before the first pitch here. Brad Lindsley on the mound for the Panthers. In the batter's box is Buchek. Probably butchered that, but sounds good enough. Buchek for the Mustangs from Central Baptist. First pitch is going to be lined hard grounder over to Enriquez at short for the 6-3 ground out. So not too many games going on across the NAIA today, but most often it's non-conference games, but because of the rain all over the Midwest, that pitch is a fastball down the middle for strike one. There are quite a few conference games still being played today. And one of those, or 4 MCAC games still being played, is we're hosting Central Baptist, and Bellevue just down the road is hosting Ozarks. They had basically the same weather pattern we did, which pretty much rained off and on the last few days. Called strike on the outside part of the plate puts the count at 1-2. To Justin Sutherland, the second baseman. And that's going to be a strikeout. Swing and a miss there for the second out of the inning. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Samuel Buchek. I would assume that's the brother of Josh Buchek, who led off for the Mustangs. First pitch is a strike. Next one's going to be put in play. Hard grounder over to Perez at second base. He throws it over to Suter covering first. Suter made a little divot, so he had to make sure he went back and covered that up. But 3 up, 3 down for Lindsley and the Panthers. Put the Mustangs in the field for the first time, and now your starting lineup for the Panthers. We'll have Rudy Perez leading things off as he is playing second base. Enriquez in second. Ivan Perez. Then Garrett Ankdill. Jose Bueno is DHing on the afternoon. Michael Johnson, third baseman, in the 6th spot. Jordan Pella moved up a spot to the 7th spot. Sean Goodall, 8. And Jordan Suter in the bottom of the batting order. Panthers currently hold a 30-15 record with 9 games to go, as they were supposed to play a non-conference game today against Kansas Wesleyan, but with all the rain, that one was canceled. So the most wins the Panthers could possibly get would be 39, and right now we're pushing for a at-large spot in the regional, depending on obviously how the conference tournament goes, and there's potential for a 3-way tie across the top of the MCAC, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there trying to figure out tiebreakers and how that could work, but the Panthers have to take care of business in this game first of all, and then worry about the game right after this one. So Panthers cannot look ahead. And obviously Central Baptist has the capability of knocking some teams off, as they did take one from Bellevue, I believe. Central Baptist is 8-8 in conference, as they swept Central Christian earlier in the season. Took 1 out of 4 against Bellevue. Lost all 4 to Wesleyan. Took 3 out of 4 against Waldorf. Play here, and then they host College of the Ozarks next weekend. So Rudy Perez is going to step into the batter's box here to lead things off for the Panthers in the bottom of the first inning. Rudy is batting .351 on the season, 11 home runs and 32 RBIs. Swing and a miss at the first pitch for strike number 1. Next pitch is hit in in play hard down the left field line. That's going to be a diving double. A left fielder tries to dive for that one, almost hits his head on the fence. Kind of a tough dive there, but a leadoff double for Rudy Perez, and the Panthers looking to get things started right away here in the first inning. Anthony Enriquez now up for the Panthers. Tough dive there. It looks like it might have jawed the ribs of the left fielder, Howard. Looked like he was still a couple feet away from even coming close to that. First pitch to Enriquez is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Oh, 1 pitch. That's a high fastball, and he's going to bunt that. And it's going to be a bunt single. Looked like that had the opportunity to go foul, but the third baseman, McLemore, decided to go ahead and grab that and try and throw out Enriquez. But Enriquez, with the speed he has, able to beat out the throw. So that's going to be runners at first and third with no outs here for the Panthers, and Ivan Perez coming up to the plate. First pitch just misses outside to Ivan Perez. Perez batting .313 on the season. This is going to be a hard hit ball, and it's going to just drop in front of the center fielder. So Enriquez had to hold at first to make sure that was going to drop. Perez also at third had to do the same thing, but an RBI single by Ivan Perez with no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Panthers are on the scoreboard. And that's going to bring up the catcher, Garrett Ankdill, hitting in the cleanup spot for the Panthers. Do apologize. I'm videos looking today because it is having to go through a window. It is pretty chilly out there this afternoon with a strong 25-mile-an-hour north wind. Shows bunt there. He's going to bunt that over to the third base line. And that's going to be a dropped out. I guess I don't know what you call that. Kind of pausing. The throw over to first was dropped. Umpire calls him safe. So an error on the first baseman. Ankdill did a great job putting down the sacrifice bunt. Is going to be credited with the sacrifice, but he reaches safely on the error. And then he's going to have a courtesy runner as well. That brings up the DH, Jose Bueno. First pitch just misses to Bueno. The second pitch is in there for a called strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Bases are loaded here for the Panthers. Still no out due to that error on the sacrifice. That pitch well outside for ball 2. Douglas Rhodes is courtesy running for Ankdill over at first. Have Ivan Perez at second, Enriquez at third. That pitch misses for ball 3. So I would not be shocked on a 3-1 pitch here if Bueno, with the bases loaded, might try and just take this to see if he can get an RBI walk. He hits away, and that's going to be a screecher right over the first baseman, and that is going to score 1, score 2, and allow Rhodes all the way over to third. So a chopping grounder that bounces over the jumping first baseman into shallow right field is going to be a 2 RBI single for our designated hitter, Jose Bueno. The Panthers now have 3 runners on across home plate. Still no outs here. Runners at first. And Michael Johnson, the third baseman, now up for the Panthers. Fastball high for ball one. Hard hit ball, and that's going to be fouled. My depth perception was way off there. I thought that was going to the second baseman. But the first baseman grabs that 2 feet foul for strike one. Michael Johnson batting .292, does have 30 RBIs. Looking to try and get RBI number 31 here. Fouls that one off into the parking lot. Just misses Central Baptist bus. So the 1-2 pitch here from Kincaid. High and outside for ball two, evens the count. Here's a 2-2 pitch. High for ball three. Careful to say anything about Bueno over there at first, because the last time I talked about him getting a lead, he ended up getting picked off. So with a full count here, the opportunity to load the bases once again. Douglas Rhodes over at third. Into right field, and it's going to bounce up against the wall. That's going to put Bueno all the way to third. It does. Johnson had to hold himself at first to wait and make sure that Bueno was going to round second. He does, and Johnson is in safely for the double. So the first 6 Panthers reached safely. Only one of those would have been an out. That was a sacrifice bunt trying to advance runners. But then since then, I mean, we've had Jose Bueno reaches on a hit, 2 RBI single, and then Michael Johnson, the second double of the ballgame for the Panthers. And you're going to have a mound visit here by the Mustang coach. All right, and the first pitch to Pella is a called strike. Hard hit ball right up the middle. The second baseman is going to field that one and throw it over to first. So the first out is credited here in the bottom of the first inning. Puts the 5th run across. So an RBI ground out to Jordan Pella. 1 down. And that is going to bring up Sean Goodall, the left fielder. Change up there, and Goodall's well out in front of that pitch for strike one. Hard hit grounder over to the third baseman. They're going to try and get the lead runner at home, and they do. So that's going to be a fielder's choice on a 6-2 and get Johnson out at home. It looked like he might have tried beating the tag on the outside, but going to be called out there. And so now Goodall is at first, and Jordan Suter, the first baseman. So all 9 hitters are coming into the batter's box for the Panthers in the first inning. First pitch that Suter sees is over the outside part of the plate for strike one. Hard hit ball, grounder over to the shortstop, flips it over to the second baseman, Sutherland, and that will be your third out. So the Panthers score 5 runs, 4 of those earned on 5 hits. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. After 1 complete inning of play, score is 5-0 in favor of the Panthers. Back here at Levitt Stadium, 1-1 now the count from Lindsley to Richardson. Richardson is their DH, hitting in the cleanup spot. Pitch misses for ball 2. Two-one pitch, off speed, right down the middle of the plate. Evens the count at 2-2. I do not believe Richardson was expecting a changeup there. Look for a fastball, and it's low and inside. Hard hit ball, and it's going to go between first and second. And that'll be the first hit of the ball game for the Mustangs on a 2-2 pitch. A grounder through the hole at second. And that's going to bring up third baseman Seth McLemore. Pitch is on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Well out in front of that pitch for strike 2. McLemore batting .285 on the season. He's got 27 RBIs and 2 home runs. Pickoff move over to first. Richardson slides back safely, but a close call at first base. Change up there, tries to hold out, but well out in front of that one as he fouls that one down the first base line. So still 0-2 count here to McLemore. Runner is at first with no outs here in the top of the second inning. Out in front of that one, but he's going to hit that one into right field. So the first 2 hit batters for The Mustangs reach safely on 2 hits to the right side of the field. And it looks like Ankdale's going to come to the mound for a quick visit, and Suter's going to join him over there on the mound. Umpire not wasting any time going out there to tell him, get moving. Hard hit grounder over to Enriquez at short, and that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. That will put the lead runner over at third base, but the Panthers elect to go for the 2 outs. And now facing Ryan Johnson. That was Ryan Johnson, excuse me, who grounded in the 6-4-3 double play. Now facing Scott Gracie, the left fielder. First pitch to Gracie, grounds over to third. So the Panthers allow 2 base runners with no outs, and a double play and then a ground out to third will end the inning for Lindsley and the Panthers. And we are back to the top of the batting order for the Panthers as we batted around in the bottom half of the first inning with Rudy Perez, Anthony Enriquez, and Ivan Perez. First pitch to Perez, strike. Next pitch is in the dirt, will not chase. Evens the count at 1-1. Fastball low for ball 2. Perez did lead the game off with a double down the left field line. And he's going to try and reach on a bunt, a perfectly placed bunt. And the speed of Perez is going to reach first there by a good stride and a half. Pitcher does a pretty good job fielding that one, as it was halfway between third base foul line and the pitcher's mound. Throws over to first, but Perez, the speedster he is, gets on base with a bunt single. Ant Enriquez reached safely on a bunt single as well, his first plate appearance. Called strike on the inside part of the plate. Infield is playing in down that third base line. Third baseman probably expecting maybe a bunt, trying to advance Perez over to first. I don't know how much help Perez needs to get over to second base, and the Mustangs know that as Kincaid throws over to first to check Perez at first. Pitch is well inside for ball 1. which it might be a little tougher to steal in these kind of conditions where it's pretty muddy over there at first base to get a good jump out of the step there, as that pitch is high and outside for ball 2. Ball 3, low, almost in the dirt. Pitch just like the first pitch that Enriquez saw on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. So full count now to Enriquez. Perez still over at first base. No outs here in the second inning. Fouls away this pitch over into the bullpen area of the Panthers. There's a 3-2 pitch once again from Kincaid. Hard hit grounder over to the shortstop. And that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Perez not able to break up the double play, sliding into second there. So we do get a leadoff batter on base. But unfortunately, 2 down now with nobody on base after that 6-4-3 double play. That's going to bring up Ivan Perez. Perez singled to center. That pitch misses for ball 1. Ball 2. That pitch is fouled off behind the bleachers. Puts the count at 2-2, 2-1. Perez doesn't even take the bat off his shoulder. Swings, pops this one up down the first base line. It is going to be in foul territory, out of play. Two down here in the bottom of the second inning. Full count to Ivan Perez. Fouls that one off into the backstop. Stays alive with that one. A little bit late swinging on that, but fouls it off down the first base line. Perez battling here. Hits a bomb right to us. Is it going? And it does not have it with that north wind blowing in about 25 miles an hour. That looked like it was coming right at me. And it ends up hanging in the air, and the left fielder, Gracie, going to step underneath that for out number 3. So 3 quick outs for the Mustangs in the bottom half of the second inning after 2 full innings, 5-0 in favor of York. Due up for the Mustangs in the top of the third inning. be your 8, 9, and 1 hitters: Rhodes, Howard, and Buchek. Cody Rhodes leading things off here for the Mustangs, batting just 180 on the season. That pitch is going to hit the outside part of the plate for strike one. Next pitch is fouled off. Guess that went over the bus. Looked like it might land on top of the bus, but for strike two. So the 0-2 pitch here from Lindsley. Be a nice breaking ball or something of that nature, swing and a miss for his second strikeout of the ball game. 44th of the season. And that will bring up the 9-hitter Deontay Howard. Howard batting .343 on the season. And a bunt attempt there. It looks like he's going to beat that out. Lindsley fields that and just fires a fastball over to first base for the out. So a great job by Lindsley fielding that one. You don't expect your 9-hitter necessarily to try and bunt for a single. I think that caught him off guard, but Lindsley, with some reach in that 6'6" build, is able to reach that a little bit quicker and fire it over to first just in time for the out. And that's going to be back to the top of the batting order for the Mustangs. First pitch that Josh Buchek sees is going to be a swinging strike. Next pitch also strike. Might have foul tipped that one as Anktil not able to hold on to that one. Howard did ground out to short on the first pitch of the ball game. Off-speed hanging breaking ball, and this is going to be hit deep into right center field. Ivan Perez gets underneath that one. So for the second time so far today, Lindsley's found himself with 3 up, 3 down, and the Panthers going into the bottom half of the inning with their 4, 5, and 6 hitters of Anktil, Bueno, and Johnson. First pitch that Anktil sees, he's going to foul off down the third base line. He did reach on an error in the first inning, batting .321 on the season. That pitch misses outside for ball one. Again, these games were supposed to be were slated to begin on Friday, but the way the weather looked, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, sometime in there we were trying to get that ball misses for ball two. Thursday and Friday and Saturday did not look very good. And of course, wouldn't you have it, Nebraska, once you plan something, things change. Thursday night we were supposed to get 1 to 2 inches. We got about 1/100th of an inch. And then mid-morning, Friday, it just started downpouring. And then Saturday, Central Baptist was traveling up here. We probably could have got 2 games in about 65-degree weather yesterday afternoon after the rain cleared. But they were still on the road. And then today, rained all morning. But with a 25-mile-an-hour wind, it dries things up pretty quick. And I think the same for tomorrow. So some cold days to get 4 games in, but time's a ticking. And we've got to get these things in. 3-2 now the count to Anktil. Fastball down the middle of the plate, just foul. Took a tough bounce right before the base. Looked like it almost bounced off the base. But it is going to be foul. Have a decent amount of fans in the stands for this weather blowing right in. I thought more people would be sitting in the outfield stands blocked from the wind. They may not know that it feels so much nicer out here. Hard hit ball in the hole, just out of the reach of the diving shortstop. So Anktil is going to reach base safely for the second time in this ball game. And that's going to bring up Jose Bueno as Douglas Rhodes goes in to run for Anktil at first. Bueno 1 for 1. Had a 2 RBI single that just bounced over the first baseman in the first inning. High bouncing grounder. Allows him to reach first and drive in 2 runs. First pitch he sees is going to foul off into the backstop. Hard hit ball right up the middle. That's going to let Rhodes round first. Bueno, I thought, was going to try and round going to second. I think he would have been thrown out if the throw goes straight to second, but it actually was getting cut off at short. But Bueno decides to trek back to first. So a single with no outs puts runners at first and third once again for the Panthers. And that's going to bring up Michael Johnson, the third baseman, who's 1 for 1 on the day as well. The good-looking hit by Bueno. Hard hit ball is going to be grounded to the second baseman, and they're going to get a 4-6-3 double play. It is going to score 1 run for the Panthers, but it is going to be a double play and get 2 outs and clear the bases and bring up the right fielder, Jordan Pella. First pitch, Pella sees he's going to drive this one into center field. A great diving catch by the center fielder. I was just about to say a great hit by Pella, which it was great contact. Unfortunately, he hit that about a foot too high, as that diving forward center fielder, Johnson, makes the grab for the third out. Panthers score 1 in the bottom of the third inning, extend their lead 6-0 after 3 complete innings of play. And we've got Sutherland, Buchek, and Richardson due up for the Mustangs from Central Baptist. All right, apologize for going dead there on the air for a little bit. First batter struck out. Next batter lined out to Anthony Enriquez. And then Richardson lines one down the right field line just out of the reach of Pella, but it's foul for strike number one. Richardson did single up the middle for the first hit of the ball game for the Mustangs. A 1 pitch. Fastball just misses for ball one. Pitch is in the dirt for ball two. Got a little bit away from Lindsley there. Swing and a miss there for strike two, so two's across the board. This ball's hit in play, and it's going to be hit into shallow left field. Enriquez makes the catch as he calls off Johnson and Goodell. So 3 up, 3 down for the Mustangs. And in the bottom half of inning 4, you'll have your 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Panthers. The 1-1 pitch to Goodall is going to be grounded over to the shortstop, Buchek, for out number 1 here in the 4th inning. And that's going to bring up Jordan Suter, the first baseman. That pitch drops just in for the called strike against Suter. Suter reached on a fielder's choice earlier in the ball game. Suter, probably the best presence over at first for the Panthers, just his size between him and Bueno. Just he got a little bit better reach, but batting-wise, he is struggling on the season, just batting 153. Watches that ball go low and outside for ball 2. Hard hit ball, going to be right outside of the reach of the second baseman, so that's going to be a one out single for Suter. And just something DJ and I were talking about on our way up to the press box earlier is how thick this grass has been, especially with the rain, how much it's grown. It's ready to be cut. It plans on getting cut tomorrow, but that ball hit the outfield and just died. Almost lost it in the grass. Couldn't even see it. But Howard picks it up and throws it back into play. One out here, though. Rudy Perez now batting, as he is 2 for 2 on the day with a double and then bunt singled. Don't expect him to be able to do that again here, as they're probably expecting that. As the third baseman, McLemore, is playing in a little bit. First 2 pitches outside of the strike zone for 2-0. That pitch fooled Rudy, but it does come inside for ball 3. So see him taking this pitch. Wanted to swing at that one, but I'm sure coaches told him 3-0, do not swing in this situation. So takes strike 1 there. Suter over at first base. Pitch looked a little bit outside, but close enough. It's going to be called strike 2 to fill this count. It's going to be a hard chopper over to the shortstop. And what was going to be a routine, if there's anything routine about a 6-4-3 double play, second baseman drops it. Not even on the exchange trying to get the ball over to first, but it's going to be called drop as Suter is safe at second base. So the second error of the day for the Mustangs keeps runners at first and second with only one out, when that could have very easily been a double play, an inning-ending double play. And that's going to bring up Anthony Enriquez. He's going to hit this one into center field for out number 2. As Enriquez flies out to center, Ivan Perez is now stepping to the batter's box. He flied out to left his last plate appearance, as I thought it was going to be a home run right at the press box, about 15 rows up the bleachers. Ended up being about 15 feet short of the fence. That pitch misses for ball 1. Runners at first and second, 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Panthers currently have a 6-0 lead. This one's going to be blooped into shallow right field, and a great diving catch by Howard over in right field to end the inning. So the Mustangs have had 2 great catches in the outfield to end the inning. If that one drops, that's going to score 1 at least, if not 2. So a great job there by Howard, ending the inning with runners on first and second. Due up for the Mustangs will be McLemore, Johnson, and Gracie in the top of the 5th inning. McLemore, first pitch misses for ball one. Next pitch, low strike. Evens the count 1-1. McLemore singled to right in the second inning. Lindsley, the 2-1 pitch here to McLemore. Fouls that one off down the first base line. That pitch well outside. Fills the count up at 3-2. Swing on a low fastball for strike 3. I believe that's going to be out. Strikeout number 4 on the day for Lindsley. And that's going to bring up Ryan Johnson, the center fielder. Good looking pitch there on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. That pitch just misses. Looked good from here, but not good enough to the umpire. Hard hit ball over to Enriquez. Great job fielding that one. Throws over to Suter for out number 2 here in the 5th inning. We're approaching 1 hour of game 1 here. 2 down in the 5th inning. That Scott Gracie, the left fielder. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Gracie grounded out to third in the 2nd inning. Fouls that one off. He is batting .308 on the season. Change up there, hits that one over to Michael Johnson at third. Throw over to Suter and gets it. Out number 3 after 5 complete innings of play for Lindsley on the mound. He has given up 2 hits and no runs, 4 strikeouts, and he's only thrown 48 pitches. Due up for the Panthers in the bottom of the 5th inning will be Anctil, Bueno, and Johnson. So far they are 4 for 5 on the day with 3 runs scored and 3 RBIs. Garrett Anctil 1 for 1 on the afternoon, has reached base safely twice. Make that 3 times. It's the first pitch he sees. He's going to hit into left center field. Going to be a close play at second base, but he's going to slide in safely for a leadoff double. And he's going to have a courtesy runner come out and take his spot at second base, and I believe that is going to be Douglas Rhodes again. And that is going to bring up Jose Bueno, the DH for the Panthers, 2 for 2 on the day with 2 RBIs. Off-speed pitch breaks low for ball 1. Pitch is low and inside. 2-0 now the count to Bueno. Swing and a miss, about a second and a half late on that swing, and well out of the strike zone. So 3-0 turns into 2-1. Good looking pitch there, right down the middle of the plate. Strike 2. Bueno, one of the best opportunities today probably for hitting a home run is that being a left-handed hitter, hitting it over the right field, has a better opportunity than anybody that's right-handed hitting straight into the wind. But he's got to make contact, and that ball hits him on the inside of the foot. The only problem there is that puts a force at the bases for the Panthers, but there are no outs. So runners at first and second, third time both of these guys have been on base safely. And Michael Johnson, the third baseman, now batting. And he did ground into a double play last time on that opportunity Bueno had to try and squeeze his into a double. Stayed at first and then ended up getting out. And this one's going to be a blooper into center field. Just safe. That's close from being a fielder's choice for Johnson into being a single. But Bueno, don't blame him, had to hold, as they've made a couple incredible diving catches in center field and right field, and the center fielder Johnson not quite able, actually he didn't even attempt to dive on that one, but close enough where he might have been able to make the play if he dives, but chooses not to, almost gets the force at second, but Bueno slides in just in time. So now the bases are loaded, no outs, and Jordan Pella, the right fielder, comes to the plate. Pella is 0 for 2 with a ground out to short and then lined out to center. Does have 1 RBI on the afternoon. Pitch count is 2-0. That pitch misses for ball 3, so 3-0 count here, bases loaded. He's going to definitely be taking this pitch. So we'll see if Kincaid can actually locate a pitch over the strike zone. He does not. And ball 4, and that's going to be another RBI credited to Pella as Douglas Rhodes trots across home plate. And that's going to be another run for the Panthers and increase their lead 7-0. No outs here. And that will bring up Sean Goodall, the left fielder, who's also 0 for 2 on the afternoon with a fielder's choice and a ground out to short. First pitch, he fouls off for strike 1. Hard hit ball is going to be fouled off the other way. First one down the first base line, this one down the third base line. So let's see if this pitch he can hit right up the middle. 0-2 count here, no outs. And he's going to hit this one foul down the first base line over by the tennis courts. They do have some action in the Mustangs bullpen now. Looks like a sidearm pitcher there as that pitch just misses outside for ball 1. Right-handed sidearm in the bullpen for the Mustangs. Low pitch there, fouls off back behind into the backstop again. So 4 fouls here at this at-bat. Good job fighting so far for Goodall. High fastball, and he's going to pop this one up. Don't know what the wind's going to do with it, but it is going to be caught behind home plate. But that pitch was well out of the strike zone. Unfortunate for Goody to go after that one. That will be out number 1. And then that's going to bring up Jordan Suter, the first baseman. Suter 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Right after I said he was just batting a 153, he goes and hits a single through the hole at second. So we'll see if he can do something again here with only 1 out. Runners at every base. First pitch he sees, he's going to ground right to the second baseman, and that is going to be a 4-6-3 double play. So the Panthers do get 1 across, but have the bases loaded with no outs. And again, the 8-9 hitter just cannot produce as they pop up to the catcher and then hit into a inning-ending double play. Panthers hold a 7-0 lead after 5 complete innings. Now batting for the Mustangs, Cody Rhodes. Rhodes 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the third. First pitch he sees is called strike. Soft hit grounder over to third. Johnson's got to rush it over to first, but he does get the out. So both times Rhodes has been to the plate, he has gotten out. And then that's going to bring up their 9 hitter, Deontay Howard, their right fielder, who is batting an unbelievable 340-something for being in the 9th spot. I'm guessing they do that trying to get him on base, and then they have the top of the batting order trying to get him around to score. A big swing and a miss for strike 1. He did try bunt single in the first plate appearance. Not going to be bunting here as the second pitch is a called strike as well. Pitch misses, check swing, going to be appealed over to the first base ump, but he calls it a ball. Did not commit on that swing. Swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying as well, but that's going to be the 5th strikeout for Lindsley. I wasn't even paying attention to what happened to the ball. I was just watching the bat as it soared over close to the fence in front of our dugout. Everyone's safe. except for Howard. He walks back to the dugout. Josh Buchek batting. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out to center. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Makes contact on this one, hits a hard ground ball over to second. And he's definitely got some speed there. Suter tries to make a play there, but it's too far inside. Rudy, about 10 steps into the outfield, grabs it, but throws over to Lindsley, and it's not in time. So a 2-out single puts Buchek on first base, and that's going to bring up Justin Sutherland. Sutherland keeps the inning alive due to an error on Michael Johnson. A wild throw allows Buchek to round second and reach to third on the error. So first and third. Actually, that was not Sutherland. Excuse me. That's a pinch hitter, Nick Heffley. Heffley reaches on the error. So first and third, 2 outs. Buchek swing and a miss, puts a count at 1-1. Fouls off the next pitch. The sun peeking through the clouds. Wind is still blowing pretty steady. It's a grounder over to Johnson at third. Double clutches, throws over to first, so the error by Johnson does not harm the Panthers except for giving a couple extra throws on the mound for Lindsley. Strand 2 more base runners. And the Panthers still clinging to a 7-0 lead going into the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be back to the top of the batting order with Perez, Enriquez, and Ivan. Rudy Perez just hits a solo shot over the right center field fence on the first pitch he sees to lead off the 6th inning for the Panthers. That was a shot. I didn't even have a chance to see it except for where it landed. I heard it hit off the bat, but we were trying to figure out our lineup here. Defensive changes for the Mustangs, and the first pitch is hammered over right center field for the 8th run of the ball game. So 12th home run on the season for Rudy Perez. Brings up Anthony Enriquez. Enriquez 1 for 3 on the day. Kincaid still on the mound for the Mustangs in the 6th inning here. He's at 89 pitches. 1-1 the count here. Fouls off that pitch for 1-2 count. Pitch misses. Evens the count at 2-2. Fouls that one off the light pole. Comes back into the field of play. Coach Gray over at first base decides to trot over and grab that one. Change up well out in front of that one is Enriquez, and he grounds that one over the Mustang dugout. Have action again in the bullpen for the Mustangs. Enriquez fouls that one off into the York College bullpen. It is in the York College bullpen is vacant. Lindsley doing a great job so far. Enriquez takes that one on the backside to earn his free base. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Ivan Perez. Before that, it's going to bring a mound visit from the Mustangs coach. There's a pause in the bullpen, so it's not just a delay to get the relief pitcher ready. Looks like he might be ready. It's just a determination of this coach if he's ready to pull the plug, and it looks like he is. So Kincaid makes it through 5 innings, cannot get an out here in the 6th as he puts 1 run across and another runner on base before Ivan Perez comes up to the plate. Looks like it's going to be number 17. Wiley for the Mustangs, if we are correct in that. Wiley, bottom of the team as far as ERA goes with a 15.43. Appeared in just 5 games, gone 2 1/3 inning on the season, allowing 4 runs. So not a whole lot of experience in a so far on the season, just going 2 1/3, 30 games into the season. So we'll see how the Panthers do here in a minute, as he is a sidewinder. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with you when we are ready to continue. All right, we were incorrect. It's actually number 12 on the mound for the Mustangs, Calvin Hodges. 3.6 ERA in 5 innings appeared. Perez fouls off the first pitch. Next 3 pitches miss for ball, ball, ball. So 3-1 count. Pitch from Hodges. Enriquez at first. Grounder down the third base line. I was waiting to see if there was a call. I mean, it looked foul to me, but I never saw anybody actually call it. Should have been the home plate ump. I feel like he might have just been looking down or something. I don't know. But regardless, that fills the count at 3-2. Enriquez, I think, wanted to just keep going too. So he'd already rounded second. Stretching on that one is going to be a tough play, and that is going to be a fielder's choice. The pitcher fields that one, throws it over to the second baseman for the out. I think they were going to attempt a double play, but a little bit of a slip by Hodges in the grass there slows things down. They do get one out, and that will bring Garrett Ankdill to the plate. Ankdill 2 for 2. Ankdill fouls that one away. He's got a single and a double and a sac bunt. Hard hit grounder over to the shortstop. Charges after that one. Great play throwing that over to first. So Buchek, Josh, great fielding there as he gets out number 2. We have a runner on second base now with Ivan Perez. And Jose Bueno now stepping it up to the plate. Pitch is low. Bueno, was hit by a pitch the last at bat, as that sun is peeking through the clouds and making it look like it feels really nice out until you feel that wind. Swing and a miss there for strike 1. That pitch misses. 2-1 now the count. And that pitch is cranked off the armory in right field. There's not even doubt about that one. The right fielder doesn't even move. That one's above the windows on the armory. Hits over 2 fences. Hits the armory and bounces back quite a ways. So that one just a shot into right field. And that is a 10-0 ball game now for the Panthers. And that's going to bring up Michael Johnson, the third baseman. I want to go ahead and say I feel like I called that, Because I said Bueno was probably the only one that was going to have it. And then obviously Rudy Perez, had to make me wrong. He just wanted to prove me wrong, because that's something Rudy likes to do. But Bueno, without a doubt, I think he could have hit that anywhere in this ballpark, and that's gone. And that pitch is behind Johnson. Puts a count at 1-1. 2-1, excuse me. That one's fouled down the first base line. Chopper over to third base. Third baseman throws over to first. That's going to get him out of the inning, but the Panthers score 3 runs in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Going 7th will be Richardson's, McLemore, and Johnson. Swing and a miss for strike 1 to Richardson. Then he fouls that one off, so it's going to be an 0-2 count now to Richardson. And on an 0-2 pitch, Lindsley lets that one get away from him, and it hits the shoulder of Richardson. So unfortunate there, as he's well ahead in the count and gives a free base up. So that'll be the second time today that Richardson's been on base safely. And that pitch misses wide for ball 1. Fastball paints the outside part of the plate. Evens the count at 1-1. One-two pitch here from Lindsley. Just misses. 2-2 now the count. 2-2 pitch, no outs. Throw a pickoff play over to first, but he slides in safely. That's going to be fouled off down the first base line. Suter able to grab it in foul territory, unfortunately. Three-two pitch to the lefty. Swing and a miss. Guess he fouled that one off. So he's still alive. McLemore does have a strikeout and a single. Fouls that one off to stay alive as well. That pitch just misses for ball 4, so it puts runners at first and second with no outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter entered into the ball game here. The Mustang coach goes over. Sorry, we're trying to figure out the pinch runner there, so zooming in with the camera, 32. Flusmeyer. First pitch he sees, he grounds into a 6-4-3 double play. Puts a runner at third base. I do believe we are in a game where a 10-run rule does take effect in the 7th. So the Panthers really looking to try and get this out here with 2 down now. Swing and a miss. Pretty good size lead there for Richardson over at third. But Lindsley looking to finish things out here for the Panthers without having to bat in the 7th. Check swing there for strike number 2. Number 6 pinch hitting for the Mustangs, Bunker. Swing and a miss on that one. They're going to drop. He's going to drop it, throw it over to first, and that's going to be the 6th strikeout for Lindsley in 7 innings, and that's going to be the ball game. So the Panthers wrap up Game 1 with a 10-0 win. Scheduled 9 innings, but they're going to go 7 here. So that game will go a little bit shorter than expected. About an hour and 35 minutes for Game 1. We will have Game 2 in approximately 20 minutes for 6 p.m., 6:05 start time. Looks like Cody Bach is going to be the pitcher for Game 2. We're going to take a break and be back with you for Game 2 in about 20 to 25 minutes.